All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, family. Shalom. Thank you for taking the time out to join me this morning. And this morning, we're going to talk about very briefly, but a friend of mine over in the UK, she asked me a very beautiful question. The question was, why do Black people fight so hard to stay in America, to stay in England, to stay in France? Why do they fight so hard to stay in these white countries? Wouldn't it be better to be in a country where you see nothing but your own? Morning, Twin Pyramid. Thank you for joining us, bro. And when she asked me the question last night, I thought about it. And my first answer was, this is the only country that I know. And as I thought about it more, and I told her this morning, well, I'll do a video on it and give you a more thorough answer than what I have given you. Because my original answer, as I said, was, well, I don't know of another country. This is the only country that I know. And she goes on to say, I say this because countries we live in will never change. White people cannot change. Their racism is biological. It is in their genes. The only way we can live in the same nation as them is if an exceptional team of Black scientists develop something to silently put into the atmosphere that which would kill them. Peace, so Brother 85, thank you for joining us. She continues to say, we cannot live in peace with them because they are genetically incapable of being good people. The only non-racist whites I have come across are those white people with learning disabilities. And she says, I'm being serious. And I can't deny any of the truth that she wrote about the cracker because that is who they are. This is what they do. And I can only answer this question in terms of Black people here in America. I can't answer it for those who live in France or those others that live in the UK, because she was questioning her own self as well, because she lives in the UK. That's where she was born. And she was saying the thought came to her because a politician over there was getting blackmailed because they were trans or gay or whatever. And so they were going to out him. And she's like, all of this stuff that we're beginning to see where it's illegal in the UK, it's illegal to say, well, if you're a man acting as a woman, it's illegal to say you gay, or it's illegal to tell them you can't do that. You can't, I don't want this around me. So, but I can answer this for us here in America, right? America is all that we know. This is the land in which we were born. But when we look at the problems that we face here in America, we look at the condition of Black people here in America. Even though on the continent of Africa, you have Black countries, and all of them are ruled by Black people. The thing is, though, they are ruled by Black people in terms of skin, but they are still ruled by white people in terms of mentality. So if you're fed up with the mentality and the actions of the cracker here in America, you can go over to Africa and pick a country. Pick a country you want to be a part of, and you're going to find that same mentality. One of my good friends on a program we were on Thursday. She said, we live in privilege. Because I was saying that the countries in Africa need, the regular people in Africa need to overthrow their government because the government is not serving them properly. And so she was a little annoyed because she said, here we are living, we live privileged lives while those on the continent don't have our privilege. And the reality is, because we got running water, electricity, trash people to come pick up our trash, we go to work, that's not a privilege. That's not a privilege. That's a human need. Therefore, because it's a human need, it's a human right. That's not a privilege. It's not a privilege to have electricity. We're in modern times. Every house should have electricity. And it should not be on a rolling scale, which means your electricity is on from 1 to 2, but 3 to 4, you don't have electricity. No, you should have electricity 24/7. That's not a privilege. That's a human need, so therefore that's a human right. It's not a privilege because we go and we can turn on water on the faucet and the water comes out. That's not a privilege. That's a human need. So that's a human right. We have to stop and realize, because we get to wear shoes. That's not a privilege. That's a human need. Therefore, it's a human right. And we've gotten confused with looking at countries that don't have running water and saying, oh, wow, they're underprivileged. And so they go and look for some white country or China to come in and build roads and put laid pipes for their waterworks. But the question has to be asked, is there not some person in your country that has the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding how to lay roads, how to lay pipes for water, how to do electricity grids? You mean to tell me there's nobody, no black person in your country that know how to do this? That you got to go outside of your country to fulfill your human need, which is a human right? See, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. We were born here. This is the place of our birth. This is the country that we know. This is a country that we are destined to rule. We, the black man and woman of America, we are destined to rule this country. We have a rendezvous with destiny. And because this is our destiny to rule, we can't pack up and go run somewhere else because we're going to find the same shit when we get there. So since we're going to find the same debauchery, the same sickness, the same lack of power there, we might as well do everything that we can do, since we're going to come to power, to take power. We got to be able to understand that running is not the answer. Just think about it, right? Think about this. Those who come from different countries to come to America, they abandon their own country to bring their skills and their talents to America, to make America better, to make America great. But your country is what they call, quote unquote, a shithole country. How is that smart? How is that intelligent? That you're going to leave your damn near destroyed country to come to a country that they don't even like you, that you're going to be racially profiled, you're going to be treated differently because of the color of your skin, but you're going to leave your own to come here, and your own stays undeveloped. And that's seen as intelligent. That's seen as logical. But it's not. That's the cowardly thing to do. That's the cowardly thing to do. And see, so for us here in America, our job is not to be cowards. That's not our place. There will be a time when we will leave America. There will be a time for that. We're just not in that time period. Because America will be destroyed and America will be uninhabitable for 1,000 years. So the time that when that time comes, we'll leave. But when we leave, we'll leave with great substance. But that time is not now. The time now is for us to take control where we are, and we rule the most powerful country in the world. We set the agenda. We set the precedents. It is not for us to run to any old country and be treated the same damn way that you was treated when you was here in America. If I'm going to be called a nigga, if somebody's going to try to take my rights, then it's going to be here than anywhere else. Because our fight is here, nowhere else. This is where our fight is, right here in America. So we should know and understand that we have to be patient and do good. We have to be patient in understanding the time of development. Because we didn't get in this position in 24 hours. There was a process. So just as there was a process to break you into becoming a nigga, there's a process to get you out of being a nigga and being your natural self. There's a process that has to take place. And we're in this time, we're in this process. So therefore, we got to understand the lay of the land. It is not for us to run away. It's for us to conquer. And once we conquer here, we can make sure and teach how you can conquer there. But we can look at the examples that we see each and every day, right? We can look at the example in Ukraine and see that even in a war zone, our people are still being discriminated against. Your life still doesn't matter. And you in another country, and your own country has no influence to be able to do anything because they look at you like, nigga, get out of my face. Nigga, mind your business. If that's what we're going to have as leadership, that's no good. So as my mama used to say, oh boy, you jumping out of the pot and into the fire. So we got to understand what is our responsibility here. And it's not to get up and go pack up and flee to another country. That ain't where it is, not for Black us. What's for us is right here under our feet. We built this. And because we built this, our fight is here to take control, to be able to run it, to be able to rule. So as I said many times, and I'll say it again, your behavior is a reflection of your freedom. Your behavior is a reflection of your freedom. If you can't visualize yourself being in charge and ruling, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not free. If you don't see another reality besides the one that was carved out for you by somebody else, I'm here to tell you, you're not free. Because your behavior dictates that you're still a slave. Your behavior dictates that you're not thinking properly. Because you're waiting for somebody else to think for you. You're waiting to allow somebody else who don't like you to become your new master. That's not our way. That's not who we are. Every war America had, Black people fought in. Every war. Every war. If it wasn't for us and what we did in the Revolutionary War, America would still be a subject to Britain. Still. But it was us in that battle that gave them the victory. It was us in the Civil War. It was us in the Korean War. It was us in World War I. It was us in World War II. It was us in the Iraqi War. Iraq War 1 and 2. Grenada. It was us. Every war America fought on, we were there. We were there. We've paid for this country in our sweat, our blood, the labor that was extracted from us to build the wealth of this country on our backs. So we have a stake here. And it's our destiny to rule here. So while we're in this evolutionary and revolutionary changing time, we got to break a few of these comfortabilities that we have. And one of these comfortabilities that has to be broken is that we are so comfortable in our iniquity, in this immoral behavior, in this grossly unfair behavior that a lot of our people exhibit. We got to come out of that iniquity. We are the most comfortable slaves on the planet. And unfortunately, we sin like we breathe air. We have to come out of this mold and into the mold that we're supposed to come. And we cannot abort the process of becoming great. Because a lot of times when we see people and they're accessing their greatness that the God has given them, in the moment of their access becomes the moment that they take that greatness and they become a jackass. They become full of self. They look down on their brother and sister because they have arrived now. I'm better than you. No, you ain't. You just a no good nigga who has access that God gave them. And now you think you better than your brothers and sisters who don't. So we got to be able to understand the changing process. A lot of people, I've heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, he said, they all want my place, but don't want to pay my price. I'm going to say it again. They all want my place, but they don't want to pay my price. See, there's a price that has to be paid when we're understanding and dealing with change. There's a price that has to be paid to do anything that we do in life. there's a cross that has to be buried. Somebody got to bear the cross. Somebody got to pay the price. But the problem is nobody want to pay the damn price. Everybody want to think that they can just get it for free. It don't come that way. It's not built that way. See, to be great means you're going to have to give up something. You're going to have to sacrifice something. That means you got to pay a price. You got to pay a price. But you don't want to pay no price. You just want to walk in and take the seat. And that's not real. That's not real. See, we got to understand that struggle is part of life. We got to understand that even in every phase of coming to birth, there's struggle. But we want the pleasure without the pain. But it don't work that way. During conception, there's a lot of pleasure. But during the birthing process, there's pain. And you want to run away from the pain, but then you're never born because you abort the process. And we can't afford to continue the aborting of our process to become great. Evil has a purpose. Evil has a purpose, right? Because when you look at and you experience evil, you don't like it. You begin to hate it. And see, you are to hate evil so much so that you don't return and do evil. You give justice. You give justice, right? Because there's always a price that you got to pay. You got to understand this. There's always a price that you got to pay. So in life, you study the patterns and the struggle in every life. There's a struggle. And if you abort that struggle, then you're going to meet an untimely death. We got to consider what our purpose is in life. You think about it, right? You look at Jesus, you look at Martin Luther King, you look at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you look at Minister Farrakhan. Hell, look at your life. Look at your life. What sacrifices did you have to make for you to be where you are? What sacrifices did you have to make? We make plenty of sacrifices, especially those who have given their life over to the service of our people. This is sacrifice. When I was growing up, I didn't know anything about this. This wasn't the life that I was wanting to live. I ain't know nothing about trying to serve our people. I didn't know anything about trying to love Black people. I didn't know anything about that. But as I began to grow in consciousness, grow in knowledge, grow in wisdom, and begin to fall in love with our people, and then I begin to hate the condition that our people are in. And then I had to make changes. I had to make sacrifices. And making those sacrifices put me at where I am now. And we got to understand this, and we got to understand that there is no success without sacrifice. There is none. And we got to be able to go through the fire in order to be remade. See, y'all know when we were back in church, right? And it's time to get baptized, right? And they baptize you first. They baptize you with what? They baptize you in the church with water. With water. And you go down into the swimming pool or in the water, and you come back up, and you're supposed to be a new person. Because you have been baptized. And your baptism, and you'll be doing good for about, maybe a month or two. Then next thing you know, what happens? They say, oh, Brother John or Brother this has backslidden. They done backslide. Went back into that thing, right? Listen, what is this process of baptism? And you get baptized by water. See, the baptism by water, it don't mean that you've changed. It just means that the water is on you. Now you see, you understand what the laws of God are. It don't mean you've changed. It just means now you are consciously aware. You are awoken to what it is that you're looking at. It doesn't mean you've changed. It just means that you're aware. It's just like you're sleeping, right? You sleeping and somebody come and throw some cold water on you. You're going to jump up, right? Because you're aware now. You ain't sleep. That's all the baptism by water is. It's just to wake you up to the realities of sin and death. That's it. It ain't the change. So then the Bible talks about the second baptism. That you need the second baptism. And that is a baptism through fire. Through fire. Now, why is the second baptism through fire? The fire is the understanding, because through fire, when something is burned, it's what? It's completely destroyed. Ain't no bringing that back. It's over and it's done. See, we gotta go through the fire. Because it is through the fire that our own nigger ways and our negative self that was taught to us through this environment that we've been birthed in, through this fire, all of that dies. And then the attraction, the negative pull of the enemy's world, it has no glue, it has no weight to hold you down to the ground. You're able now to ascend into real life because you've been baptized through the fire. You got to understand the purpose of the fire, because it is through the fire that we are born. It is through the fire that makes us into our godhood. You better listen, man. I'm telling you, it is the fire. Don't run from it. Run to it. Because it is through this. It's our change. It's our ascension. This is our power. We got to go through the fire. We got to be baptized in the fire. And it ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to feel good. But you're going to burn all of that bullshit away from you. And so just as the rocket ship, when the rocket ship is about to be launched into space, and in order to exit the Earth's atmosphere, you got to go through the fire. You got to go through the fire. But once you make it through that fire, you way above the earth. You up there with the stars. You up there with the moon. You up there with other planets. You're free from the gravitational pull. See, when we go through the fire, we are free from the gravitational pull of the enemy's world and of the enemy's trappings. We're free because we've been through the fire. And the enemy's world does not attract us because we know what that is. And it has no pull. It has no power in our lives because we have risen to the gods that we are. That's why they said the most important revolution is the Negro Revolution. And what happens with the American Negro will be seen all over the world, and the rest of Black people, we begin to emulate what was done in America. Now, this came out of the report of the cracker in government. That's why they work to keep you subjugated. That's why they work to keep you in check so you don't escape that gravitational pull. So when they see you and they say, look at this one over here. Let me pull this one closer to me. So this one don't be able to lead his people. This one don't be able to lead their people. So then the enemy comes with you and they say, hey, man, I got an offer for you. What's your dreams in life? What's your visions in life? What it is that you want out of life? Well, I want to be a star. Oh, yeah, that's what you want to be? I can make you that. Oh, I want to be this. I want this. I want that. I can give you that. You want the trappings of life? You want the big cars and the nice house? You want all that? I can give you that. Oprah Winfrey lives on a plot of land called the Promised Land. The Promised Land is for a people, not a person. But because you get nearness to the enemy, you become selfish. We become selfish. And we want to keep next to the enemy so that we can keep our things. When we got to understand, the enemy only pulls you closer to them so you can be of no service to your people. My last point. I was doing some work for a sister named Aaliyah. And in this work that I was helping her with, she was in a environment where it was 90% all white and all white women. And they got to see me in action. And of course, they were very impressed. And even at this time, I was struggling financially. And they came to me and offered me. I was speaking at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. And it wasn't nothing but white people in the room. It was in the audience was 99% all white, maybe one or two black people there. And Brother Ozzy was my security for that event. And I spoke like I normally do. I didn't choose, I didn't craft nothing. I was being myself. And a white lady ran up to me and asked me, would you be my advocate? Would you speak for me? Would you do what you do for me? And I had to turn her down and tell her, no, I can't do that. If I would have done it, would it have helped me financially? It sure would have. It would have helped me greatly financially. It would have helped my family greatly financially. But I understood that if I took that agreement, if I made that agreement, then eventually I'm going to get used to having this kind of money. And you get used to having that kind of money and your family gets used to depending on that, then you got to wonder, at some point, this is going to compromise my mission. this is going to compromise my work. I won't be able to speak as boldly as I do for my people. So I had to turn it down because I knew there would be a day where I ain't had to worry about finances. I just knew that wasn't this day. So I had to turn it down. I had to tell her, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. My gift is for my people. That's what it's for. And I have to use it. I have to use it for my people. So I can't do that for you. Another occasion, because I had beat the city of Jackson, Tennessee, so badly because there was a tornado that came and wiped out the big section of the city. The rich part, the poor part, knocked that out. And Obama was running for president at this time. And the governor of Tennessee was Phil Bredesen. And they had gave money for rebuilding the areas. Now the city moved black people out of their area, got it cleaned up, but wasn't going to bring black people back. They wanted them gone. And so I took up the fight, spoke at the city council meeting. Things started happening, and I didn't even know it was on TV. But after I finished speaking, black people was coming from everywhere, running up to me, shaking my hand, thanking me, this, that, and the other. And we got together to do some things, and we got our people put back in that city. I mean, we beat that city government so bad, the governor himself had to come to Jackson, Tennessee. And there's a picture of me and the governor out there. He had to come and shake my hand. He had to come and see, who is this black man starting up all this shit? Who is this black man that's sitting up here making people tremble? Because my love is for my people. And my work is for my people. And I give it all that I got. I don't leave anything on the table. And so after the other white folks saw that, then they called a meeting. Now this is the rich white folks. They called a meeting and wanted me to be present. And I'm like, well, what is this about? So since I'm going over to their mansion, I'm going to bring my sons with me so they can see what's what. So I bring my two boys with me, and we get inside, and they give you the tour of the mansion so you can see what's this, what's that, and everything was looking good, and they talk real nice to you. Now they already know what's on their mind. We don't know what the hell is on their mind. Get in there, and they said, okay, well, the children can go over here and play, and us adults, we're going to come into the parlor, and we're going to sit down and talk. And so we were there. It was my group and the rich whites. And so they were upset with the city because the city wanted to place a homeless shelter near the area that they live in. And they didn't want it there. And they kept saying, we don't want this, but people wasn't listening. So they wanted me to take up their cause. They wanted me to be their advocate. They wanted me to be their spokesperson. I called my sons into the room because I wanted them to hear this, to bear witness. And they talked real nice, gave me all the praise. And they say, but we need Muhammad to do what he did for y'all. We need him to do that for us. Mr. Muhammad, will you help us? And here I go. Here's again a good situation where I could have raked in some nice paper. Some real nice paper. And I told them, no, I cannot do that. My gifts, my talents, the God gave it for my people. So I have to use it serving them and not you. And I told my sons, I said, come on, let's go. And we walked out. I had to show them, you got to understand your greatness that the God has put in you, and you cannot compromise that and give it to the enemy and allow them to use your skills that the God gave you for your people. We don't do that. We don't do that. I said, we be faithful to our mission. We be faithful to the course that we're on, and our change will come. We got to be patient. When Barack Obama was running for president, and he didn't even come to Tennessee. Tennessee is solid Republican. But they reached out to me because they learned of what I did in Jackson, Tennessee. And they wanted me to lead their Tennessee, be a part of their Tennessee office. Not lead it, but be a part of it. To be a part of their staff. And I was impressed. I'm not going to lie. I was impressed. I'm thinking, shit, we done made it. They was telling me, and if you really deliver like we expected you can deliver, you got you a spot in the White House. I said, what? So yeah, you got a spot in the White House. This time I called all my children around because I want them to witness their daddy on this conference, this Zoom conference. I want them to witness what these white folks are saying about their father and what they want. Because this, for me, this new ground. And we're listening. And we're listening. And look here, I even got convinced that this must be the right road to go. And so I reached out to one of my brothers and I said, hey, look, they want me on this campaign. So I'm going to do it. And I want you to come do it with me. And my brother, Roberto, he said, brother, do you believe Barack Obama will solve the conditions of our people? Do you believe that? I stopped. I said, no, sir. I don't believe that he would. He said, then why would you lead your people that way? I was convicted. Because here it is, I'm thinking, I done made it to the big scene. I'm about to be in the White House. We about to change the condition of my family overnight. We about to be in the White House. And when my brother reminded me, see, we always get a reminder of what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And we must not close our ears off to that reminder. He said to me, why would you lead your people in that way? I was convicted. So I had to turn it down. I had to talk with my children and say, hey, look, unfortunately, I got to turn it down because that's not our way. I don't believe Obama will deliver our people. So I can't go that way. I can't do it. And I saw in my children's faces the sadness because they were all excited. But I told them, I said, this ain't our ticket. But we got to be patient. We got to be good. And we got to keep developing. Because we're going to get there. We're destined. We'll get there. But this is not our ride. Because I can't help lead our people away that I don't even think is going to be the answer to their problems. So at the next meeting, I had to tell them, I can't do it. Thank you, but no thank you. And I didn't even have a job at that point. But I had to give it up. I had to sacrifice. I had to sacrifice for the greater good. I had to sacrifice to stay on mission, to stay on point. And if I would have led our people down that way, and as Mellow Cap said, he did everything for everybody else but didn't do a damn thing for us, then I would have been looked at, nigga, you was the same nigga who sold us to follow Obama. That's right. I did not sell my soul. There was a sacrifice. There's a sacrifice. Uprooting everything and moving to Mississippi, there's sacrifice. Doing the work that I do, sacrifice. Because I know in the end, we're going to come out right. We're going to be victorious. It's all in our DNA. We got to go through the fire. And we'll come out reborn to never be enslaved by any human being ever again. We'll come out totally new, totally free, because our behavior reflects our freedom. We're not bound by the world of this enemy. It has no attracting power to us. Thank you, family, for watching. Thank you for joining. Please like, share, subscribe, and let's help get our numbers up. I thank you, chat family. Y'all always there to support. Y'all very strong. I love you all. And as we always say, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black First. Today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom.